Welcome to NCAA Volleyball presented by Tachikara. Matthew Knight Arena playing host this morning to the #1 Stanford Cardinal as they visit the #12 Oregon Ducks. Hi everybody, Kevin Barnett, joined by my partner Tammy Blackburn. And Tammy, undefeated Stanford. They've been having an incredible season, but they're not sweeping teams and a lot of close sets in there. If you're Oregon, you have to feel like you have a pretty good shot.
And Oregon does. I mean, this is an Oregon team that believes that they can win. And speaking with Jim Moore just the other night, he realized, though, they're going to have to put the best match of their year together. Everybody wants to beat Stanford, so Stanford knows that they're a target.
One of the most interesting stories about the Stanford season has been the play of their middles. Inky Ajanaku, maybe player of the year?
Oh, no doubt. And she's definitely building a case. Coming off weekly honors, the offense player of the week, gets set in the middle. It's a Stanford team that obviously is at their best because they have balance at the net, 30 feet across when they are in system. The pass has never been more important in this match to set them out for that system that they want to stay in. 469 attack percentage kills. How about the number block assist? She does everywhere.
On the Oregon side, the story has been the outside attacking, the rise of Martine Bettendorf.
Well, they're talking about that rise being a meteoric rise. And this is a player that's going to definitely have to show up big here tonight against a Stanford team. 370 attack percentage, 21 kills, 2 digs, 3 block assists. And Kevin, you can see that the 6 rotation players are certainly outstanding in this conference. You love how she hits down the line, hits for angle. Bettendorf to get some swings here tonight.
Both teams coming off Friday night victories. Stanford, can they maintain their undefeated record, or will Oregon put the first dent in the perfect season? First serve coming up next. Thanks for being here. Crunch with volleyball on the menu. Tackle Women's Volleyball is presented by Tachikara. You've got the ball, you bring the game. Teams have taken the floor here in Eugene. The #1 Cardinal, you see the record 21-0, 11-0 in Pac-12 play. As we get to our starting lineups presented by Tachikara, we've got the ball, you bring the game. First for the Stanford Cardinal, Morgan Bocather has been very good in a senior season where she has not played a lot until this point.
She was in a reserve role just the past couple years, didn't play a whole lot, but she's been a pleasant surprise for the Cardinal and definitely contributes.
Don't forget about Marilla Lutz in the middle as well. Liz Brenner, of course, All-American on the outside for the Oregon Ducks, but it has been a mixture of younger and more experienced talent for us.
And I think Warner in middle block position is going to be big. That matchup for Lutz and Inky Ajanaku, Warner's going to have her cut out for her with the block assignment.
Oregon left-hand side of your screen, and White on the other side of the Cardinal. First serve underway. Here's Maggie Scott, the setter. Oh, bad pass right away for Stanford, and the reball shot for Oregon. In the middle, wide. So Serena Warner misses that one. Oregon wasted opportunity on the first play of the match.
They're going to have to make sure that they capitalize. And Jim told us earlier this week that they're not very good and their opponents are out of system. He says usually should be the other way around, so they've got to be able to take advantage of that.
We're also saying we must play our best match of the year. They're aware of how good Stanford really is. Excellent play on when you have a player coming off of a career night, do you want to get her the ball early? Do you want to save it?
No, I think establish her right away, and you see that it's just a really nice set. She's just sort of slit the block there. Perfectly placed.
Number 6. Ajanaku with the tip. Oregon is the outside. Chevy cut it. Stanford defense is available. Bocather right through the block. Back to serve, that is Morgan Bocather, senior out of Newport Beach, playing a huge role this year. Pass to the outside, Stanford block is there, but working off it, that's Frankie Chevy.
You see Stanford goes immediately at Liz Brenner. This is what they want to do, serve her aggressively and try to get Brenner to carry a heavy load, but for Oregon, it's a good set. They tool the block, win Oregon.
Better pass this time for Stanford. Took over the top, unable to get there is Oregon defense, point Cardinal. Look at Brittany Howard out of Los Altos, California junior, who gets this kill. Couple of tips early on, strategy, Tammy, or bad setting?
No, little bit both actually right there on that one. When you have a trouble set, you're likely going to tip. You're just going to have to make the adjustments on that bad set.
Bettendorf this time on the right gets her second kill. She will exit. 6-2 being run by Oregon, so Bettendorf on her way out. Coming in, Chelsea Ashen. The other setter, the senior Laguna Miguel. Urge dug by Brenner. Janaku back wide, where the Oregon block doing a nice job. Quick into the middle, the kill for Casey.
Your defense at the net, that blocking is part of your defensive package, and when that package is working at the net, it allows you to stay in system and run plays like this. Check out dig in the back. It's accurate, and it's just nice in system with the kill.
Little reverse dump goes down. Maddie Bug finds the floor. Maddie Bug, if you haven't heard this name, you haven't been following Pac-12 volleyball. 2013 Setter of the Year, All-American, widely considered perhaps the best setter in the game.
Ranked 6th in Stanford career in assists, 2nd in the nation, 11 assists per set. She does all that.
Next play was Chevy. Battle at the net, won by Casey Nady at just 6-2 over Moretta Letts.
Here's a player that can be incredibly valuable against the #1 team in the nation because she's athletic. You see her explosive ability to get up and go against Letts, who's 6'8" for Stanford.
See that 15 kills against Washington State, career best for Nady. Came back on October 10th, a 3-1 victory for the Ducks. Right into the middle to Moretta Letts, and it is all about the middle attack. It is the middle monsters, the top 2 percentage hitters in the nation for Stanford.
What a year it was for her to take off last year, a redshirt year. For her to get the practice come in this year, the payoff was huge.
Don't forget, too, if you have your middles hitting that high a percentage and Inky Ajanic leading in points, it means you're passing the ball fairly well. Nady steps back to serve here. Action on the Oregon bench here, talking about defensive strategy. Into Benson. There is that middle attack. Boy, good job getting available in the middle.
And so quick, right? Oregon's going to have to make such quick decisions. I mean, they have to think fast, and you see right there, Brenner just can't make over. She cannot close out on that seam.
Moretta Letts redshirted last year. You said you really liked that. Why did you really like that strategy with Moretta?
Well, she just gets to work. And let's not forget that Carly Wopat was there last year for Stanford. You had Carly, had Inky Ajanaku, and it's allowed Lutz to be able to get that work in that she needed. Definitely a coordinated player who uses her body well. Also like her off the court. She's got a great personality. She's had a couple interviews with the Pac-12 networks, and just a fun-spirited kid.
John Dunning saying it may not have been the right decision for the team last year, but it was certainly the right decision for Moretta personally. Her development, she has come to play this year. Now a stuff block, great read by 6'8" middle blocker.
Take it to a net cam here and just watch it. She doesn't have to be explosive because of her height, and then of course her length there at the net when she puts her hands up. As long as her hands are in the right possession.
6'8" akin to being about 7'2" or 7'4" in the men's game. Dominant height. Brenner on the right. Just long. Stanford leads by 1 here. Early set 1 action. Thanks for being with us here on Pac-12 Networks. Kevin Barnett along with Tammy Blackburn. Stanford don't float. X1 once again. Well, I like that X1. They're trying to move the outside blocker.
Yeah, they are. Really, it starts with libero, and for Oregon, Amanda Benson, she really gets in there and calls it off, says, let me get this pass, and that really sets Oregon up. It's going to be so critical for Oregon. Serve and pass with this matchup today, number 1 in the nation, Stanford.
Janaku, Benson pops it up. Good combination there with Maggie Scott. Backside. Bettendorf done. Janaku up quickly, but right there is Serena Warner. Serena Warner leads Oregon in blocks. In this play, you see why.
Big explosive. Just the timing has to be right. We'll go to the other side, and then here's the finish. And Inky, I thought Inky took a good angle, but
just quick hands. Right back comes the Stanford offense. Cather collects that kill. What is she doing differently this season? Her numbers have gone way up.
For one, she's just letting the game come to her. And there's a lot of pressure on this Stanford team. But the good news is that John Dunning doesn't care about rankings. He doesn't care about the fact that they've got the best schedule in the nation. They're our guy. He just wants us to get better. So they work on that with individual player development.
Here comes Oregon. Right back. 2 consecutive points, 10-9.
There's Bo Cather, and Kevin, she does it all. She had 18 digs against Nebraska in that great non-conference. She could serve her 2 aces against Santa Clara.
That could go around talent that need. What a connection. I love the courage of the setting on that play to go to Nate.
Take a look again, and you talk about the courage there, and it has to be quick, but it's such a short backstep.
Talked about the athleticism of Nady. No steps with that approach. Another good touch from the Oregon block.
Benson doing good work at back.
Burgess doing it on the Stanford side. Long. So good defense on both sides. Stanford the beneficiary of hitting error. There is John Dunning. His 14th season with the Cardinal. Beautiful read by Nikki Scott. House at the net. Oregon into it. Tied at 11.
Yeah, the freshman setter for Oregon, Maggie Scott, who you just mentioned her name. Interesting to see how consistent she's been. Top-level play by the freshman, consistent. Rare to see in a conference as tough as this. But nice for Oregon.
John grew high and hard. Impossible to stop when she goes that high.
So good off of 1 foot. And interestingly enough, a lot of people around the Stanford campus mistake her for Chinea Gwimike, who was a women's basketball player, All-American last year. You see right there, she looks a little bit like Chinea, almost like doing a layup in basketball.
We know that she probably could. That athleticism wouldn't be limited to just one sport. Martine Bettendorf with the kill on the Oregon side. They are hanging tough here in set 1.
It will be important for them to play point for point. They cannot allow Stanford to separate themselves from Oregon. You see that, boy, she just really found a spot in the back row.
Burgess quickly, boy, what pace to the outside. That was one of the changes John Dunning said they made this year. They've sped up the left side attack.
Anytime you can shoot that ball out quick to the pins, it's going to make those blockers have to think twice, especially when you're going against Lutz and Icky, because you got to stay home, got to respect their play.
It's worked for Burgess, but Dunning's saying that for Brittany Howard, it's been a bigger adjustment for 16-year outside hitter for Stanford. Nady again, backslide and a kill. Good first set for Casey Nady. 5 kills now. So maybe the Oregon strategy is to go right at the middle and give Stanford a little bit of their own medicine.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, that's a good point. And you see Nady executing that slide, the timing between her and the freshman.
Unable to cover it, and Oregon collects another point. Block has been doing some work here in set 1.
Their footwork is very good, and I think their technique, they're having to get out to respect the outside pin hitters for Stanford. But the fact that they're covering so much ground, make good reads.
Quick reaction by Burgess. What an athlete.
She's just explosive. We were watching her in warm-ups and we were commenting on how explosive she is. Just her approach to the net, she gets in transition, she scores off that. Just fun to watch.
Out of Fort Myers, first hitting 251 on the season. Sometimes though it seems like she's asked to take out the trash, like right now. Maybe a sanitary engineer major. Not getting a lot of in-system opportunities. That one comes off the base of Burgess. Off the block, and Oregon leads here in set 1, 15-14. A strong opening set from the Ducks. Can they take it? Can they make sure this goes at least 4?
Play.
Inside Matthew Knight Arena, where Oregon, the home team, has a 1-point lead here in set 1. Gorgeous facilities here at the Oregon campus. A lot made of that. Look at the series history here with Stanford. Stanford has dominated this series 53-4. You see that last victory back in 2011 for the Oregon Ducks. And that 3-1 win on October 3rd, not a sweep. The next day, Stanford will go on to sweep Oregon State. That is actually the last time they swept a team. They only have 3 Pac-12 sweeps on the season, despite the undefeated record. And they've had so many close sets, Tammy. This is a tough conference. A good rally right out of that timeout, but a miss by left-handed Crittenden.
Talk about the good rally. You just bring up a really good point. And everybody wants to knock off the #1 team in the nation. It's a big win, so they're playing on a big stage. You get up to play big. I mean, there's no doubt as former athletes, both us, we know what it's like to you're going against Stanford. Big opportunity. You get up to play big, and there's no doubt as former athletes, both of us, we know what it's like to know you're going against Stanford. Big opportunity.
Serve from Burgess. They continue to work on Brenner on the outside. Here she comes. Crushes that one through the block.
On the defensive scene there just a little bit. And speaking with John Dunning right before the match, he talked about, ironing out the details, like maybe just closing up the seams defensively. Here you are in match 21. They've got to be able to play, a little bit tighter and not have the whole entire system be as loose as it has been. He recognizes that their opponents know their weaknesses by now.
Miss serve, went for Stanford. Kijanaku checking back in.
Expect her to get set here. If they stay in system, they get the pass, and there's no doubt.
And back to serve Megan McGahee out of Lee's, Missouri. What a diverse squad at Stanford. Go through their roster, 6 states, 2 countries, and 13 players. Runner on the right, Kijanaku slaps it back. On this defensive play, going to come off of Megan McGahee. Another kill for Bettendorf.
I think that Maggie Scott is playing so well right now. She's definitely getting great passing that she wants, so ideal sets are going up. Jim Moore made bones about it. He said this is going to be Maggie Scott's team in the future.
Nice swing down the line by Bocather. John Dunning said his seniors, Bocather, one of them, has done a great job of setting a consistent level so everyone else can just kind of show up and play with less pressure.
One of the most remarkable performances, and we all watched it, was that great matchup against #1 Penn State at the time. 15 kills, 34 attempts for Bocather.
That was a 3-2-3 for Stanford. A little vindication after getting knocked out last year. Stanford feeling like they were on their way to a potential national championship shot. They would lose the regional final 4th round to Penn State. And his team definitely remembers that beautiful dig by Brent charging in.
I'm surprised they went to 5 sets in that throw as well.
Joust at the net. Will go Oregon's way. So Oregon now with a 19-17 lead here in set 1. Timeout called by Stanford.
And what you're seeing is an exciting freshman, Frankie Shebby, who checks in for Oregon. And she just brings a lot of excitement, a celebration. Jim Moore talked about Frankie Shebby when she goes in, real quick approaches, and you can see her speed on court.
Mention the fact Stanford is #1. That is a national ranking. #2 held by Washington, showing the strength of the Pac-12. Big Ten also a strong conference, but then down here 12 through 20, Pac-12 really packing them in.
Yeah, they kind of own that. And how about that? 7 teams in the top 20. And let's not forget about the strength of this conference and the RPI. Very solid across the board. Last year, 9 teams, women's volleyball teams, get into the NCAA tournament. A lot of us were building a case for 10. And Utah.
Washington State left outside.
That's right. Washington State left out. And Jen Green will actually be the first to tell you that, well, gosh, we're so close. So many great wins for them. I had them the other night. It's a program that's on the rise.
Let's look at the RPI and the remaining matches here. Not a lot decided in Pac-12 play. We just crossed the halfway point.
Yeah, and there's still a lot to be had. This Oregon team beats a #1 Stanford here today, and of course their RPI will go up. And USC, UCLA, Oregon State at RPI at 35. Utah had an RPI of 49 just about a week and a half ago, and then they went on the road and lost to Washington State. Still a very good Utah team who beat then ranked number 18 ASU. You did that game.
That's true. Washington State always dangerous. Good things being done by Jen Greeny down there, changing around that program.
program on the rise. I know that they have a good recruiting class coming in. Their RPI jumped 102 points, did Washington State, since Jen Reaney took over.
Back underway, Oregon leading by 2. And what do you do when you need a side out? A lot of teams, if you go to the opposite of the outside, it's the middle for Stanford.
Yep, and it doesn't have to be in the middle of the net per se. And when you execute this and see her on that side play, she's just able to put the ball down. Very good combination there.
Junker's still in the front row. Brittany Howard back to serve. This is All-American Curtis Howard, and an ace serve at a critical moment. That'll be her 11th of the year.
You see, Benson wants to take that. She doesn't want to have to make this Brenner, who's in the back row and on her left, get that, because they want to get Brenner into the attack. But a very good serve by Howard.
This one on Bettendorf, who will get the ball in the end play and will cross out.
You asked me a question earlier, Kevin, about getting her started early. I think you do, and I think the payoff has been big. I think you got to show your balance. I think you got to let her pick where she left off Friday night.
Now she has picked up where she left off. She's seen 607 kills in this first set. Who does she think she is? Arstelow?
The left opposite for UCLA, who's a great season.
Donaku now out. Back in comes Lutz, and that will mean back to serve number 10, Kyle Gilbert. Gilbert, the other senior, playing a huge role at Encinitas, California. She's in that libero. High 26 digs on the season against USC, and she's going to need to pick one here now. This serve. Oregon 4 points away from taking set 1 against the number 1 team in the nation.
Wouldn't be the first team in the Pac-12 to do it. We know that USC a week ago took the first set, but Stanford's so good. They came back and ironed out the details to win the next 3.
That's a little backspin, some paintbrush on that one. Runner into the ball. Both sets trying to get in on the offensive action. Maddie Bug swung at that. Looking for a call. That was definitely off the hands. Oh, but Bug followed through into the net. Timeout, Stanford. Their second, with Oregon still leading by 2. Next Saturday, it's another exciting football Saturday on Pac-12 Networks with 2 big Pac-12 matchups. At 1, the Washington State Cougs take on Sean Mannion and the Oregon State Beavers in Corvallis. Then at 5, number 12, Arizona look to continue their 2014 campaign as they host Colorado. Live coverage starts next Saturday at noon with the Football Game Show. Look at the standings in the split north and south of the Pac-12. Of course, Oregon coming out with a big victory over Stanford just yesterday, 45-16. So maybe the volleyball team following suit.
That's right, wouldn't they love to do that? And I know there was a promotion here today that if you brought your football ticket here to Matthew Knight Arena, you actually got a discount on admission. And what a great fan base here today inside this arena.
I brought the fans and the duck. Keep your clothes on, duck. It's only set 1. 22-20. Oregon with the lead. You have to look what's happening here at Oregon with their school spirit, their brand, and everything surrounding it. Huge positive. What a recruiting tool for Jim Moore.
And there's absolutely no doubt. I mean, across the board, we know that their women's basketball team is a new coach in Kelly Graves, and their women's soccer program is a program that's on rise and been able to hurt several of the Olympic sports and seen what Oregon has done. But their athletics facility and what they have here is really second to none.
Huge support here on a Sunday morning. Fans are fired. They've come out to see the Oregon Ducks, who are playing well. 3 points away from winning set 1. Chelsea Kehoe stepping back to serve. The junior out of Hawaii. DS defense in the back row right now for that. Burgess over the top. Bettendorf can't handle it on the line. Jordan Burgess.
Maddie Bug and Jordan Burgess so good. And in that match against Arizona, as you take a look at Burgess' swing, they went to Burgess because the middle blockers for Arizona were all over the middles.
Off the tape and out. Bettendorf misses. Unfortunate time for that miss. That set a little bit low. We're tied at 22.
How many tie scores have there been in this match? I'll give you that stat. 19. 5 lead changes.
Now it's Oregon who calls a timeout. Oregon, this is their 4th consecutive home match. They had a 3-0 win over Arizona. They lost 3-2 to Arizona State, an incredibly close match. 2 deuce sets. They lost them both in the second and the fourth. Then they had that 3-1 sweep Ocala on Friday, but not their best match.
Yeah, I mean, they just needed to iron out the details, and they did. I mean, they hit a little bit better. The main thing is that Jim Moore said he knew they had to beat Cal, play well. He was really happy that Stanford was the second match in that series. Cal
still winless in Pac-12 play as we look at the offense and defensive leaders in the conference. What do you want more? You want more defense? You want more offense?
You a little bit more defense, right? Get a little bit more defense, and that leads to offense. And defense wins championships. It's all about being in back, and for this Stanford team, you get the defense, and it's not just defense, Kevin. You know, the defense passing has to be accurate. You can make a great dig, but if it's accurate, certainly Maddie Bug is going to get out of the way, right? All she's thinking is that this is a big team. The passers need to see. So she's thinking get to net. You've been able to see them do that a little bit more here late in this first set.
It's not just about touching, it's quality of touch. When you're talking the sort of volleyball, Jim Moore there talking to his team, 10th season for Moore. Volleyball Monthly, Volleyball Magazine Coach of the Year a couple of seasons ago. Fantastic run. Last year, they lost in the second round of Nebraska 3-0. See that Final Four in 2012. They would lose that championship match 3-0 to Texas after taking out Penn State 3-1 in semifinal, but it's been tough to replace Player of the Year Elena Bergsma for that season.
I don't know that you ever really replaced somebody like Bergsma. I really appreciate the national players of the year that have come out of this conference. Let's not forget about last year's Krista Vincent.
We'll finish this set. We'll just play it to 3. Let's play a set to 3 right now. Win by 2. On this wide by both Catherine. So a couple of late errors, one for each side, and Oregon has a 1-point lead. Casey Nady back to serve. Went down the line, a little confusion for Stanford. And that extra defense, fantastic run by Keogh. Rally of the match thus far, finished by the Cardinal.
And if I'm the Cardinal, I'm tipping my hat to my teammate, number 22. Gilbert goes down on the ground. And Maddie Bug comes over and made a great save to allow this to be set up. I mean, this was a remarkable effort by Gilbert and Maddie Bug to keep his play alive. And then you see Oregon right into the net.
Burgess serve for Stanford out of the back row now. Huge stuff. It's Lutz.
You know what I like about John Dunning as a coach, and he just got up and Oregon took that 1-point lead 2 points ago. He just came out quietly to his team, clapped his hands and said, let's go, buckle in, settle down, and that's exactly what they've done the last 2 points.
They are now on the verge of coming right back and winning set number 1. Set point number 1 coming up. Timeout, Oregon. Look at the bio of John Dunning. This is an incredible coach. Very calm and serene, as you just mentioned, Tammy. 14th season as Stanford. He's already a Hall of Famer. Creeping up on that 850 mark. Soon, probably next year.
Yeah, he's just remarkable in what he does. He's a huge fan of women's volleyball, and you could say that about all the coaches across the conference, but the level he brings women's volleyball and the recognition, I had a chance to speak with him earlier. You know, he puts on the art of coaching in the summertime, and he gets a lot of his friends and coaches in the Pac-12, and he put on these tutorials, and you can go online and watch them. They do a lot of clinics, and he said it's a lot of fun for me. It's just great for the sport.
Next to him, you see Denise Corlett. She's in her 26th season with the Stanford Cardinal. And then some new blood, Casey Kreider. There to the left of Corlett out of Pepperdine. His first season, volunteer assistant this year with Stanford. Previously played for Pepperdine on the men's side, and then was volunteer assistant there.
Yeah, and a real young guy. Graduated from Pepperdine in 2011 and really enjoys the fact that he can be coached and mentored by the best.
He has found a good place for a young coach. Every 10 years, good things happen. If you're a Stanford Cardinal fan, their last NCAA championship was 10 years ago. And before that, it was another one in '94 and a Final Four 30 years ago. What does this year hold? Looks good so far. Ogun and Amani, one of those players on that championship team, would love some time with the national team later. All big names 10 years ago playing for Stanford. Stop, block, back to back, stuff, take set one for Stanford.
They win at Brenner. Brenner made a pass, and she got a set, but she did not get the approach she wanted. It was the set off the net, the easy block for Stanford.
Good start for the Oregon Ducks. They just couldn't finish. Number 1, Stanford shuts the door in set 1. Set 2 coming up.
November is crunch time. Works.
Pac-12 Sunday morning volleyball. The number 1 Stanford Cardinal in action, and they took a little bit of extra effort, but it did 25-23 in set number 1. Jordan Burgess, a big part of that. 4 kills, hitting 3 for 3.
12 attempts, 4 kills. At 333, Kevin, though, no errors, and that's certainly nice. She took 5 digs doing defense in the back. We talked about her performance at Arizona. Arizona was all over the middles, and so going to give it to Jordan Burgess. She delivers explosive.
Yeah, definitely an all-round performer. She's a human biology major. I said earlier she should maybe become a sanitational engineering major because she's asked to take out the trash a lot with this team. A lot of in-system swings go other places. She's getting a lot of those transition and tough opportunities.
You're exactly right, but they have confidence in her, and that's what I like about Maddie Buck. She'll go to her when they need to. Take a look at the stats after set number 1. Stanford at 314, Oregon under 217, blocks 3. For Stanford, they had an ace. So Oregon gave up an ace, they didn't have one, and then blocks. We're at a lot too.
Yeah, good first set for the Ducks right up to that end point where it was those 2 blocks by Lutz. 6'8", just getting over the net twice in a row. What do you do with a hitter? Do you challenge that a little bit? Do you swing away from it? How conscious do you think the opponents are of the size of Lutz?
That's a really good question because one of the notes in the scouting report for the opponents is that Lutz has a presence, and I think sometimes you got to hit hard, but you don't want to hit low with her. You hit high hands and definitely go around her if you can.
Stuff, block. Well, they're all over Inky Ajanaku. Beautiful block by Serena Warner.
You just said it. You don't want to hit low, and I think right here, he certainly hit that low.
2 self blocks now for Warren, both of them coming against Ajanaku. Oregon defense continuing to hang in. Goes Chevy way off the net. Warner, yep, going to be called for over. You have to swing at that one. Brian Brink with the call, the up referee. That's a good call right there.
Yes.
Great look at it. So Chevy cut check. Maybe the leash, some sand that one.
This is a player that knows one pace. She's got to go quick. When she slows the game down, she's not effective. So they want to continue to speed her up, and we know that Oregon likes to run free and they like to run fast. Quick offense.
Chevy, a highly touted Southern California athlete last year, playing Mater Day, and she collects another kill on the roll shot. She definitely has the fire. We're seeing a little bit of craftiness.
Yeah, she's clever. She's making some good reads, find some open space. Now, volleyball came early. Easy to Chevy when she was younger.
And she's had some good coaches. Played Dan Odell at Mater Day, and she also played for Joy Furbringer at Mizuno in her club ball. She's really had some top-flight volleyball influence.
And as a junior Olympian, the U16, I believe she was garnered with MVP at some point, but she's having to come out of that phase where volleyball was easy and having to learn what it's like to play with the elite national team players.
And maybe that's what a 191 hitting percentage explains. Stanford out of the back row. They do run at 5-1 because they have the ability with a player like Jordan Burgess to come out of that back row. Oregon again, the early aggressor in this set. Burgess again with almost no approach.
The overpass nearly stung Oregon right away. There it is again. And she just goes right through the hands of Nady.
Look up outside hitter in the dictionary. You'll find a picture of Jordan Burgess. Next play, Bettendorf. Boy, incredibly fast offense for Ducks.
Yeah, that's what they like to do, and that's what they want to continue to do. They're fast, and so opponents want to try to slow them down. And there you see the X right there, and she comes in from that left-hand side of the court if you're looking in your Stanford.
Last season, Bettendorf hits 153 for the year. This year, 327. What is different about this player?
Just more relaxed, more comfortable, and you've got a great setter here, and man who's got your freshman.
Maybe against the Janiku, another joust. Outside Burgess. A lot of control block for Ducks. Chevy gets on one. And Burgess hit it out. Being waved off the antenna first by the lineman.
Just moments ago, take you back to the dig. Defense being played by both teams.
Overpass. Lots of opportunities for Ducks here. Already leading 6-3. Crittenden is stuffed. And who is it? It's Burgess. She can do it all.
I'll tell you, Jordan knows what it's like to be explosive on the outside, but she sees that opposite hitter, the lefty on the opposite Crittenden, coming out. How about being explosive herself? But Jordan steps up, big block.
I mentioned her offense, 2.81 kill per set. She has 254 days, which is second. She has 610 attempts, which is first, 32 blocks, 14 aces, just filling the stat sheet and doing it again.
And look at her set block there. Just on that outside, that's a slot play for Oregon. Lutz comes over, they close out hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder. Nicely done by Stanford.
From what was 6-3, we're now at 6-5. Serve is long. 7-5 Ducks. John Dunning's Pac-12 play will show you the holes in your program. That these teams are really good at poking at your weaknesses. But he said his team, he's been really pleased with their response, their ability to make changes and close some of those holes. I asked him, you guys are undefeated. Where do you feel like you still have a tremendous upside? He said, actually, I like this team because I feel like we have an upside on everything.
Well, when you look around this team, you think about they're not just great attackers. Those attackers are playing defense. They're very good servers. I mean, the stats and where they lead, 6 rotation player for Stanford.
Lutz goes long. Boy, tough to squeeze that set in there from off the net. 9-5. Oregon on a run, and Stanford wants to talk about it. So just like the first set, the Oregon Ducks come out firing, not discouraged by their deuce loss in the first.
You love playing football? Works.
Plenty of reasons to dance and have a good time on a Sunday morning if you are the Oregon Ducks. They lost that first set, but it was close. They had their chances. They lead here in set 2, and blocking's been a big part of it. Just 2 blocks, both by Serena Warner, 2 stuffs, but maybe it's where it doesn't tell a whole story.
Yeah, the control block, and you and I talk about that. It's not just about getting that stuffed block and making this fan base go crazy, but the control block, and at University of Washington talks about that quite a bit. It's the mechanics of it, making sure that mechanics all the way from the feet, all the way to hands, and pressing over tape.
Missing the serve coming out of the timeout. Now the Oregon Ducks, Maddie put to the back row. So Stanford in full strength, 3 hitters in the front.
Oh, Nady quick off the middle. Again.
Quick back, but just wide. Casey Nate, just a sophomore. Really good football.
You asked me a question about Bettendorf earlier and the difference between her. I think a player's taking pressure off of Bettendorf just allows her to be relaxed. Nady, one of those.
If you can have a lift call that time, trying to punch it up was Nia Crittenden.
Yeah, no, she was trying to hide a little bit. You're right, Kevin, and there it is. You see the lift. That's the good call by Marsh Costley.
Another nice swing by Nady. A little bit of a delay on that one. 10-8 Ducks. Stanford having their passing issues. The set over is good.
Wow, Ashton, good read. Jim Moore had high praise for this senior. He said, Ashen is what a student athlete is supposed to be about. She doesn't worry about Maggie Scott being a freshman and stepping in. She just does her job, and that's just a great way to play that second ball.
He said she kind of expected to be the backup forever. And then she brought that teaching aspect to the game and to the floor, and working with her compatriot, that freshman, Maggie Scott. And it's been a really nice relationship. And he said early on, the setters were very different for the hitters, but they kind of grown together.
The one thing that Ashen had to do, she had to adjust very quickly to the up-tempo offense that Oregon liked to run.
Quick in the middle, that is up-tempo. Count the kill for Serena Warner. Warner's a bigger part of the offense this year.
Oh, you're right. No, a good point. And you see that it's just a very nice pass, and Ashen can get that quickly to Warner. And we've got good hops and explosive big swing.
Warner's nearly doubled her output this year as far as kills per set. Straight down. Bo Cather, even the crowd here, the home crowd for Oregon was pressed by that one.
Just really amazing in what she's able to do. That reserve role last year, she put 22 sets, having 22 sets in 2013, but she doubled her kills from 2011 to 2012, so improvement.
She's a bio major working in stem cells. Can you alter your genetics yet? I'm not sure. Maybe she found something in the lab.
I think John Dunning might want to clone her as well, because they might miss her senior leadership in the season she's having.
Look at Jordan Burgess. The all-around engine here. And a talented squad as Bo Cather again goes off block. Another nice swing by her, hitting well over 500, creeping up on 600 with 6 kills.
So you see that what her ability is. She's got good hops. She can hit the down ball. She sees the space, but she knows how to tool the block.
Stanford trailing, but still playing with that confidence. I asked Coach Dunning about the lack of sweeps. He said, listen, we're learning to play without panic. Learning to react to things and stay together.
Just wants to get better each and every match. He says at match 21, we can't be making some of the mistakes we're making. We want to tighten up. We want to get better in those situations where we know our opponents are exploiting us. And I think right now they're working through those things.
Bettendorf quickly over the top. Boy, I love the pace from Maggie Scott. Scott's a winner.
She is.
40-0 in 2012 with her high school team.
That's a great stat, Kevin, and that's exactly what Jim Moore has plans for this to be Maggie Scott's team.
Yeah, 3 straight state titles in high school and has brought that right to the Pac-12. I wonder, I see a lot of freshman contributors around the Pac-12. Do you think it's more difficult to come in and be a setter or a hitter in this conference?
It's a great question. I don't know that I have the answer for it. I think it's difficult, to be both maybe a hitter with the great blocking in this conference, but setting is so difficult because of the timing and up-tempo that so many of these teams play.
Strange looking play there. They're going to call a double contact on the player. 2 contacts in a row. I think it could have been popped up, but we're tied at 15 either way. Bettendorf with pass in the X-play. Stanford a good job throwing the timing off, and their timing is off there. Ajanaku, well, she's a little off for her normal game now, hitting 0, 3 kills, 3 errors. First time she's hitting the net, the other 2 have been stuffs from Warner.
And I noticed, when Stanford serves are going at Brenner in that left back position, they just went to Bettendorf in that right back position. Certainly John Dunning, a guy that knows that passing will set your level of play, and so if the passers are the attackers, they want to take them out of their route. That time Stanford had an opportunity, but the error hurt them.
Another service error from Oregon. Thanks for being here for Pac-12 volleyball. A little collision there. Thanks for being here for Pac-12 volleyball on the Pac-12 network. Stanford take on Oregon. Kevin Martin and Tammy Blackburn here in Eugene.
Addie Bug.
Rattling connect at the second time is Chevy.
So you see the adjustment on the first one. She tried to hit down the line. Maddie Buck took that away, and so she was going to go with a very sharp cut shot here.
She's lucky Lutz isn't there.
That's right. Lutz was late to that one, but she read it. Pretty good for a freshman.
Chevy, 5 kills, 357, well above her season average as far as percentage goes, 191. A huge potential for Frankie Chevy.
Sky's the limit, according to Jim Moore. What they're seeing in their freshmen is something that you and Kevin have seen throughout this conference that sometimes she clams up when she struggles. They want her to be a little bit more open and outward when she struggles. Just kind of grind through it. That's what you have to do in this conference.
Both teams scrambling. Burgess cleans it up. So if you make a mess of rally, just give it to Jordan Burgess.
Number 23 is your number. How about AVCA All-American honorable mention? She is right there from last year.
Again, without an approach. How many national team players do you think are on Stanford side right now?
You could argue there's a handful.
I could pick out probably four right now.
I was going to say 4.
4, potentially 5. A tough serve into the corner. Crittenden. What a good change of pace there. Looked like a full swing coming.
She reminds me of Burgess, just a lefty on the opposite side. I mean, their approach to net, their athletic ability, explosive. And she really gets up, but she just mixes her speed there.
She had some experience last year in 2013, logging some time. This year, some time. Good cross-court goal, Bocather. Stanford lead by 1.
A nice angle there as she went right over the hands of Warner. A little bit of a seam in that block. Liz Brenner trying to set that on the outside pin.
Another nice swing. We're getting on the ball hard, Crittenden.
She's 6'2". She's real quick with good size. She touches certainly 10 plus. I think her speed and her approach explains why she's a sprinter, former track and field athlete.
Look down the roster here with Oregon. It's kind of a mixed bag as far as ages go, but have to be somewhat excited about the future. Scott, a freshman. Debbie, a freshman. Crittenden, a sophomore. A lot of athleticism that's going to be here for a long time. Stanford just pounding the ball. Bocather once again, one-on-one.
Right.
And you saw the angle last time, this time down the line.
Yep, and then she just can adjust. I mean, she hit all angles. That's what we want. Certainly something that she worked on.
Hit down the line. Brenner with the kill. It's Brenner's 3rd. And that might get her into positive territory for Liz Brenner. 7 kills against Cal on Friday. Of course, the slack picked up on the other side by Martine Betten, 21. But Brenner, not the offensive production we've seen from her in years past, but she has been still playing exceptionally in the back row.
Every opponent knows her number. I mean, every opponent goes after number 6 right there. They force her to carry a heavy load. They try to take her out of everything. Wouldn't be surprised if Stanford tried to serve her time and time again. The thing is, she's really good, though, and she just makes plays.
Oregon needs to make some plays right now. They are in a set to 5. Liz Brenner in the back row could provide some opportunities for others. But Oregon has to serve in first. They do it this time. The X1, their block is there. But Janaku slide and gets enough of it.
Good decision. Maddie Bugg is credited by her teammates as just understanding the game, making the right decision, who to set, when to set that. Sometimes she takes risks, but she knows that the payoff for that risk can be huge, so she'll take, and she's got confidence in that. And John Dunn gives her the green light.
Chopping down the line. There's safety. Other team able to get a clean swing. Bocather finally does, and Brenner is there. She covers herself. O'Donoghue finishes just her 5th kill. Hit 154, but a right time to pick it up.
Did you see the way that Maddie Bugg just distributed the ball in this rally? I mean, she went to Burgess on the left side, she went to Bocather out of the back, and then when they got to get the clean look, she went to Inky down the middle to finish it off. Very nice balance.
22-20 Stanford. Timeout, Oregon. Tuesday, the first men's basketball broadcast on Pac-12 networks is finally here. At 7, the Oregon Ducks kick up the preseason by hosting Northwest Christian Beacons. Live coverage starts Tuesday at 7 on Pac-12 networks and Pac-12 Now. Northwest Christian surrounded by Oregon. They're going to walk to the gym for this one.
Bet they are, and they're going to try to beat the Ducks.
Look at the preseason media poll here for Pac-12. You see Oregon in there at number 8. Some questions surrounding this year's team. Should be an adventure.
Should be anything can happen in men's basketball in Pac-12. Enjoyed media day a couple weeks ago, and a lot of the coaches coming in. A couple new coaches in the men's side of things this year.
Now the fans have brought the heat. They've carried it over from last night's football victory and come in here ready to support women's volleyball team. But the Stanford Cardinal feel like maybe they stole set number 1 from Oregon. Here they have a chance to just plain take it.
Just worked hard really in those last 3-4 points to get set number 1. They've been much improved here in set number 2. Has Stanford, Oregon. They're working hard, Kevin. Feel like they're right there. They're playing about as well as they can. Just goes to show you how strong Stanford is.
Now they lead in kills, but Stanford leads in blocks. And see the hitting percentage number there, 294 to 207. Jordan Burgess was huge down the stretch, as was the blocking of Moretta Lutz. What will happen here late in set 2? Bettendorf served again on that right side. Definite deliberate strategy by Stanford. Nady battling Burgess.
Touch by Benson.
Back set blown by Ajanaku. Now coming in, that 6'2" being unwound, Chelsea Ashton comes in. Along with number 8, Nia Crittenden.
So you got your lefty up as a possibility on that opposite side, shoving on left side.
It's been good as of late. Renner unable to handle that one off the right arm of Ajanaku. Ajanaku now 6 kills, a very spread out Stanford offense. 8 for Bocather, 6 for Ajanaku, and 10 for Burgess. Ajanaku looks on. Rivero serves. Gilbert. And an ace. 10th ace of the year, and good timing once again for Stanford to make some plays.
It's a game of serve and passing, and you can see right there how important it is to make sure you get a good pass. Now here we are, set point for Stanford on an air.
Set point number 1. Once again, timeout called by Oregon. So second consecutive that has happened.
No surprise there. They went to the young, experienced freshman maybe.
Well, we've seen Stanford serve the right spots.
You bet.
This is an incredibly experienced team, just 2 seniors, but the juniors have played since they were freshmen.
They're certainly experienced.
Mention those juniors, they are terrific. Look at All-Americans. This is just from last year. Ajanaku first team, Buggs second team, Gilbert, Burgess honorable mention. But this is an incredibly difficult conference. And difficult thing to be is an ABCA All-American.
I don't think Kyle Gilbert gets enough credit for what she does. And she had a season-high 26 digs against USC. Coincidentally, her career high was against USC last year with 33. And for a position that Rich Feller, the head coach at Cal, speaks about it so well. You can work so hard and make such big plays, but you have no control of the outcome. You're digging for balls, you're making accurate passes, but you have no outcome. And I just think that it speaks to Kyle Gilbert. She's got a lot of great players in front of her to help out.
You're just a facilitator. Kyle Gilbert has been facilitating a lot of chances for her teammates. She has had plus 20 digs 5 times this year, including that 26 that you mentioned. And now 10 aces. Maybe she can pick number 11 and finish off set number 2 against a very tough and scrappy Ducks team. So Kyle Gilbert back to serve. Chevy, good pass. Burgess off the block and down. So Jordan Burgess finishes off set number 2. 25-21 Stanford.
Well, I like the way that Stanford went back to Chevy, who had made an error before that break, and so Kyle Gilbert went right back to the freshman on the right-hand side time, but Chevy made a great pass. He just couldn't close it out. Stanford with the victory.
George Burgess leads all hitters with 11 kills. This is her 11th.
Tools the outside right hand of Nady for Oregon.
So Stanford winners of set 1, 25-23 and 25-21. We're now joined by Jim Moore, head coach of Oregon. Coach, you have to feel pretty good about the play of your team until maybe late in a set. What is changing over 20 points?
Yeah, that's an issue, that's for sure. We're making way too many errors. I mean, we gave them 8 points in each set, and you give Stanford 8 points, you're going to lose a set for sure. We missed, and they were different. We had 5 hitting errors that we just hit out in game 1, and we served the ball out 4 times in game 2. We got to cut the errors down, but after 20, we're not performing at the level we need to perform.
Coach, certainly serve and pass for women's volleyball. We know about that, and not surprised to see Stanford try to take Liz Brenner out. She's been holding up strong, but they went to Chevy the last 2 times there to try to end set number 2. Do you go in and talk to your young freshman about that?
Well, I mean, we know. She shanked the one. She passed the other one well. We know that they're going to try to serve Frankie at different times. We've talked about that all year, so we don't need to talk to her now.
All right, get the smartboard fired up. Thanks, Coach. Good luck at that 3. Inky Ajanaku and Stanford got off to a bit of a slow start, but they are cranking now. The number 1 team leads 2-9.
Welcome into our San Francisco studios. I'm Drew Schiller. We'll get you back out to Eugene in just a minute, but first let's get you caught up on what happened Saturday in women's volleyball. Number 15 Arizona hosted Utah Saturday night in the first set, with Arizona up 19-16. Taylor Arizobal from the outside for the crushing kill down the line. Arizona takes the first set 25-19. In the second set, they were trailing the Utes 12-15, but Rachel Rhodes from the middle with a big kill as the Wildcats came from behind to win the second set. In the third set, Wildcats in control. Maddie Kingdom with a cross-court attack. She hammers it home. On match point, Panina Snuka back sets to Arizobal for the win as Arizona defeats Utah in straight sets. On to football. Marcus Mariota and number 5 Oregon hosted Stanford on Saturday. The Cardinal entered 0-3 against teams in the AP Top 25. Well, that would fall to 0-4 in the first quarter. The Ducks up 7-3 and Mariota on the zone read option. 22 yards for the score. Oregon up 14-3. In the fourth quarter, it's deja vu. Mariota along the right side takes it in, 7 yards for the score, untouched. Duck go up 38-16. Later on, they just poured it on. Mariota, the Heisman frontrunner, steps up and drilled a 25-yard pass to Darren Carrington for the score. Oregon would go on to win 45-16. Mariota, 258 yards passing and 2 scores. That's all we have for the intermission report. Coming up after the break is your sports report update.
You're here.
Welcome back to 12 Volleyball. Joining us now, head coach for Stanford. They're leading 2-0, John Dunning. Coach, early in these sets, Oregon has really given you a run. What are they doing well to put your team in some jeopardy?
Yeah, you're right. First of all, they're really good. They have an offense you should fear. Really, when they're in system, it's very hard to block and stop. It's so fast, and I just think they passed great. Second game, we took them a little bit in and out of that, and I think it really helped our block to get some better touches. And our offense coming back at them, I think Morgan Bocather's done a really good job helping give us a little bit of momentum there. Great. Good luck in set 3. Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
You can really see Stanford making those adjustments as we look at the stats after 2 sets. Tammy, what jumps out at you?
The block certainly stands out for me for Stanford with 5 and 34 digs. Good defense by the Stanford Cardinal. And the accurate defense really allowed them to pass as well as they needed to distribute the ball. Kevin, for me, it was all about the distribution of Maddie Bugg. I mean, she went Bocather on the opposite side. She went to the middle. She could. Jordan Burgess stepping up on that left side.
5 blocks to 2. The advantage for Stanford. There's been a variety of different players getting it done. Look at a couple of Oregon kills, and this has been a story early in these sets is Oregon's offense.
Yeah, there's no doubt that John Dunning was right when he says that Oregon was passing well, and they were trying to go at Liz Brenner. They were trying to go at another couple of other players to take them out of their approach on their attack, which you always have to do, but they handled it very well. Maybe not so well in set number 2, but credit to Oregon, they were right there.
Oregon has been right there, 25-23, 25-21, and both of these sets have been close. 22 all in set number 1 and 21-20 in set number 2. But Jordan Burgess has been big down stretch in both of these sets, just making plays, and it's been a variety of different plays, not just one phase.
Yeah, she keeps the ball alive. She's so great in the back row, and what she does, she's got 5 digs, but low air for me is something on the stat sheet that stands out. Only 1 error, 26 attempts, 11 kills, hitting .385.
Yeah, over her season average as far as the percentage goes. But she is asked to do a lot with very little in some situations. Set 3 underway. Oregon serving. Thanks for being here, Kevin Barnett and Tammy Blackburn on Sunday morning for Pac-12 volleyball. To Bo Cather. Another shot this time. Lutz. Oregon defense scrambling. 2 players there. Maggie Scott overlapping with Chelsea Kehoe.
A little bit of traffic there for Oregon, but you can see the good passing there by Stanford and allows Maddie Bug just to get out of the way, get to the net. That's what she's thinking about. They've talked about that throughout the season.
Morella, that's just 3 kills. Last time these 2 teams met, Lutz had 15 kills in a 3-1 victory for the Cardinal. Stuff block. Bo Cather up there with Janaku. That one was tight.
Set the block and watch how quick it is in the swing block, and use those arms to explode up, and you get that height and that lift from those arms that swing and that back swing.
Next play, Bettendorf. Bettendorf to double figures.
I mean, they execute this X play very well. Bettendorf continues to shine in this area. They're talking about her rise being a meteoric rise.
They're really moving her around. They have the X's, the X1, the X inside from the right. We've seen a variety of offense as Janaku gets that kill. So Janaku at one point was hitting 0, now has 7 kills and over 200, but very capable of going on a streak at number 12. In to serve now, Kelsey Humphreys, sophomore out of Newport Beach. Back up 7. Self-block for the Ducks. Bettendorf getting it done defensively.
And Jordan Burgess knew that she did not get past that she wanted. Maddie Bug had to come off the net, chase that one down, and then that led to this well off the net. Oregon's there to set up for that block.
So Howard stopped. Howard now hitting 0. Overpass. Cleaned up nicely.
A couple of errors by Jordan Burgess. Uncharacteristic. Maybe we're talking about her too much, Kevin.
Everyone has their ups and downs. Certainly volleyball, a huge momentum sport.
There she goes. She got that one.
And Janaku got a hold of it.
That's what happens in that system. And when Burgess knows she gets it, Maddie Bug says, all right, Inky, and then the termination.
We talked about the percentages that Inky and Moretta are hitting, but defensively, they're 4th and 6th in blocks in the Pac-12. Do you remember a better set of middle blockers, a better pair?
They're fantastic. No. If I do, it's been a long time.
Another kill for Oregon. They continue to play well at the beginning of sets. We're tied at 4. Bettendorf to bench. That ball tight. Burgess cleverly off the Oregon block. Burgess leads all swingers with 12 kills. Here's Gilbert. She had an ace late in set 2.
Nice pass by Benson. That's a quick offense that Oregon can run, and John Dunning will comment how tough they are to block. You see how fast it happens. It's a quick pass. Ashen is right there to tee her up, and
Casey Nady, nice job in the middle. Really tough assignment for Nady in the middle attack of Stanford. Brenner down the line. We haven't heard a lot from Liz Brenner.
This is all just set up nicely again. It's not as quick as that previous set, but certainly that high to the outside, mixing it up. And Brenner with a power shot, good firepower down the line, and Lutz bringing her own firepower. She really touches high, Kevin. She's got a high touch on that.
That was one of the things that was said by head coach John Dunny. He said, I saw her hit one ball and thought to work with that arm. Maddie Bug to the back row. 3 hits once again for Stanford. Crittenden inside the block. Lutz not penetrating.
Yep, just waterfalls down right in front of Lutz because she doesn't press high over that tape. You'll see it here. Watch the ball just fall right inside as it waterfalls down.
Good pass, Stanford. Lutz over the top. Crittenden high hands. Nia Crittenden having an impressive match at the net.
You know, she fits this Oregon offense so nicely because she only operates at one speed, quick.
8-6 Oregon. Crittenden with 8 kills, 462. Inside slide, bad spot Bug.
And to Maddie's credit, she had to come off her mark and set one down and try to make something of a bump set.
Just like the first 2 sets, Oregon has come out and put Stanford in trouble. Forced yet another timeout by John Dunning. 9-6 the lead for the Ducks.
November 14th.
Pac-12 Women's Volleyball is presented by Tachikara. We've got the ball, you bring the game. You knew the Oregon Ducks would have to deal with an incredible middle attack, and they have done it. The scores don't reflect it in set 1 and 2. It was very close, all the way up to 20, and first set all the way up to 22, and again, Oregon leads. And these middle blockers are something to deal with. Yeah, 479, 468, way off their numbers, and if you combine their numbers, only about 300 as a percentage for the middle blockers.
Oregon's done a nice job. I mean, this is what they want to do. They want to go at them, but they're being incredibly efficient in their quickness. They are very difficult to stop. You have to be impressed with what Navy has done. And yes, Inky Ajanaku and Marilla Lutz come to the tape today with big-time numbers, hitting well below.
Going right to Lutz now, and dug again by Oregon. Brenner, Oregon scrambling that one off the antenna, no good. You mentioned the play of Casey Nady. She has 8 kills, hitting 353. She's really having a nice match, and they've moved her around. Gotten her out of the way several times from going right at Lutz or Ajanaku. Burgess backed up to serve. A jump float. Crittenden covered. Brenner stuffed. Bo Cather along with Lutz. Liz Brenner's struggles continuing this weekend, now hitting negative. 3 kills, 4 errors.
The one characteristic Moore told us earlier this week, she's so rock solid all the time. But
right back to the middle. Whoa, those good passes. You like the Oregon attacks little blocking spot.
You know, and they do it in different spots, as you mentioned, Kevin. I think that certainly has been the difference here. A little bit of balance at the net.
We've seen threes. We've seen takes to the setter when they're in the gaps. Good short serve. Lutz misses. Lutz looked a little bit late. That pass was quick to the net. Oregon right back out, a 3-point lead. Oregon led at 1.95 in set 2. Only to set evaporate to a 14-all tie. Burgess runs down. Double contact going to be called. Getting a little fancy over there with the setting as Oregon.
Yeah, the freshman Maggie Scott, she just going to shake that off. She knows that she made a mistake, and you don't want to give Stanford any windows opportunity to come crawling back in. And it's a tough competitive player right there, Maggie Scott.
Pounding through the block. Bo Cather into double figures, 10 kills. way over 500.
Impressive by Bocather, but back to Maggie Scott, the freshman for Oregon. She said, and this is a great quote, "I would rather eat glass than lose." And if that doesn't tell you something.
I like that. I like intensity. Check that, 9 kills for Bocather now. 571 on the match. Oh, hit down the line for Brenner, falls.
Oregon doing what they've done in sets 1 and 2. They're just hanging in there. They're not pulling away by 5 or 6 points, but they're hanging right there and certainly siding out when they can.
Well, if you're Jim Moore, you'd like to pull out by 5 or 6 points, head coach Oregon. 2 touches, Brenner, no. That'll be 4 contacts and maybe a sprained ankle coming down.
This is, I saw that right in front. Is
scrambling to get that
Chevy.
up is Frankie Chevy, and yeah, we have a replay of it there. That left ankle, that looked like it hurt. See if Chevy can walk it off.
She got twisted up with Warner, Serena Warner here.
Watch her left foot.
Yep. She just rolls her left ankle on the right foot of Serena Warner.
Now she is wearing some ankle braces. Not the old school active ankles, but she's wearing some wrap braces there. Good shot of them. Like everything else, Oregon, it's Brent. And Chevy looks like she's going to limp off, and we will get a substitution. Taylor Agos come in.
Sometimes it's just a stinger. It's good that she actually stood up and could put some pressure on it.
Burgess, nice dig. Ajanku. Efficient transition offense.
No doubt about that. That transition works so well, and just a beautiful jump set, real tight, very quick. Inky, and the timing on this, and she hits real high, a high touch there. You can see how explosive she is. You want to set those most so difficult to guard.
Ajanku again. This time, Doug, how about one more? Net violation. The streak in the middle, Bug is looking to get Ajanku back on track.
And a headsy play there by Stanford's Brittany Howard to not try to put that ball and terminate too soon. She at least kept it alive, tried to set so that Bug could get something to Inky, regardless of the net violation on Oregon.
Jim Moore and Oregon with the timeout. They trail by 1, now 13-12. It's shaping up to be another down-to-the-wire finish in Pac-12 football. Tickets on sale now for the 2014 Pac-12 football championship game on December 5th. That's Friday. It'll be in Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. You don't want to miss an opportunity to go to that brand-new stadium. Champion will be crowned, and you can visit pac-12.com/tickets to get your seats today. Well, they have a championship game. They actually don't have a Pac-12 championship game or championship tournament in women's volleyball. However, it looks like the day before Thanksgiving, there will be a de facto championship game if things continue. Undefeated Stanford, undefeated Washington, at least as of now, meeting the day before Thanksgiving.
Kevin, I know you're going to mark your calendar November 26th. That is, in fact, that's right, the day before Thanksgiving. It's going to be a feast on the court. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. We'll see if both teams can carry their undefeated streak to that point. It looked like Stanford in a good spot so far, leading 2-0 this morning in Eugene. With an opportunity to go to 22-0. Washington already 23-0. The Oregon fans aren't deterred. Their enthusiasm is still there.
There always are. I mean, these are fans that are here for the long haul. The great fans in Eugene, Oregon, they always come out and support. Why not? Oregon athletics program. I'd be here too if I was in the area.
Transition offense from Stanford. Brenner digs it. Back to the outside and cutting it down. August with the kill.
Boy, Brenner doing some work in the back to keep that ball alive. It was accurate. She gets down on the hardwood.
Freshman has only played 18 sets, make it 19. Crushed by Ajanku on the backslide. We've seen some adjustments in this match by Stanford as Oregon has kind of poked holes in them and had some success. but this team is always working to get better, Stanford. Have you seen anything change over the year in the strategy?
Well, I haven't. And there's absolutely no doubt that just in the last couple of weeks, this is a team that their middles will work on setting, so that in the event Maddie Buck has to actually play defense and take that ball, and Moretta Lutz, Inky Janaku, working their middles in this thing. I like it. I saw just the other night at USC, Ogum's a middle for USC, and she was setting the ball.
There wasn't a pancake breakfast here this morning at Oregon. Maybe if there was, the last play would have come up. Oregon with the side out there, and a point leaving the court. Now go number 18, Martine Bettendorf. Bettendorf now 12 kills. Janaku. She's getting a lot of opportunities here in the third.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Stuffed.
Oh, Maddie Bug.
Maddie Bug is not afraid to put up a big block, and she does here against the freshman out of Happy Valley, Oregon. So not far away. Backslide count that goal for Casey Nady. Mentioned August, and her joining this team, the freshman, as she rotates out as part of the 6-2. We see three Rivers League Player of the Year there. Her team finishing 4th in the state, and now bringing her talents to the O. With 3 blockers up, doesn't matter. With the slice.
She really didn't get her hand on that and get the swipe that she really wanted, but she just crushes it as hard as she can. Nice.
Tammy, I don't know if you're feeling, I feel like Stanford is kind of asserting themselves in this match a little bit.
Within the last 5 points, certainly, but Nady has other plans for the Stanford team as she is keeping it close. And I tell you, she could very well, if we had a player of the game, she could be the star, a little X factor in this match.
Over 410 kills for Nady. That missed wide by Lutz. A definite middle bias in the third set by the Cardinals.
She doesn't like it. She knows that she's leading the nation in hitting percentage. Coming into this match at 479.
Cather high and hard over Brenner. If you just joined us, the first set was 125-23 and a steal by Stanford. Second set, Stanford 25-21, controlling the action from about the 20-point mark. And in this third set, they are now leading 18-17. Kevin Barnett along with Tammy Blackburn, live from Eugene. And the middle attack for Oregon has really been there. I like the strategy of going right at the opposing middles and making them work.
Setting lower, setting quicker, that's what Ashton just did, and that was effective. It all happened so fast and so difficult to block, but I like that quick, low set. It's that up-tempo.
18-18, Mag's got to serve. Nearly off the tape and down. Can't run that one down, so Lutz another kill. Lutz 6 kills, hit 214. A combined 17 kills out of the middle between her and Janaku.
You know, I have to say, I had not seen Oregon live up until today. I knew on TV that they were athletic. They are more athletic, Kevin, in person. I mean, they've got good hops, great explosive ability in order to run effectively the up-tempo.
A lot from their younger players. The power, Liz Brenner.
So add athleticism with firepower, low quick sets. John Dunning was right when he said this is an offense to be feared.
John Dunning knows, as well as every other coach in the conference, that every match is dangerous. Throw the records out. You can take the bottom team in the Pac-12 and insert them to just about any other conference in the United States, and they might win it.
That was a great pass. Difficult, aggressive serve by Oregon. They've been serving nicely, but Gilbert for Stanford handled that one. That passing, it certainly set their level of play.
Stanford a 1-point lead, make it 2. So this is where Oregon has struggled, right around the 20 mark. And Jim Moore knows he calls a quick timeout. His team trailing by 2 now, 21-19. This is something coaches work on, Tammy, over 20. You'll play a lot of games where you start out trailing 22, 21 or something, you have to work your way back. But maybe it's hard to apply in match scenarios.
Well, I think it can be, but you know what's impressive about this conference is that the coaches are getting smarter each match. We know that the players are stepping up against really strong talent, but the coaches have enjoyed coaching against their fellow coaches and getting better. And so the coaches, I think, are improving in different strategies. They're leaning on their associate coaches and their assist coaches more, and those former players who are assist coaches are getting into practice and getting these players match-like situations so that they compete at the highest level and be match ready.
Oregon has definitely been match ready. They have been in this one, and they have chosen to attack the middle. Don't be scared to go right at it, Casey Nady.
In different spots around the floor and different spots around that has really caused Stanford some problems, but she's quick. We talk about Crittenden, who only knows one speed. I love Nady's speed, but on the other side, Stanford in this set number 3 have been a little bit more impressive. Bug is setting a little more because you know why? Gilbert doing some real good work of very good passing out of the back.
The team game is volleyball. You have to have the pass in order to get a good set, and you have to have a good set in order to get a good swing. At least that's what I told my setter. You don't set the ball well, how am I going to get a good swing here? 21-19, Stanford with a 2-point lead, opportunity to sweep. Last sweep for Stanford came on October 4th, 8 matches ago. Ajanaku. Oregon scrambles. Oh, a powerful attack and beautifully delivered on pace by Bug.
Haven't really called number 16, Brittany Howard's name too much tonight. It's been Lutz, Inky, and Burgess, but you see the balance that they have. It's another weapon for Stanford opponents to have to think about. Brittany Howard.
Overpass kill. So back-to-back kills by Brittany Howard.
She likes this Oregon team. She almost had a double-double the last time these two teams met. 9 kills, 11 digs. But impressive numbers for Howard. How about 6 blocks the other night against UCLA?
3-0 run ends with that service error. Stanford in a good position. Nady back in.
You got Burgess and Gilbert there to receive the pass. 2 really good passers. You can get this one up to Maddie Bug. I expect Inky to get this.
Burgess sacrifices and puts it up there. Hip does not find the floor. Back row Burgess off the hands and out. What a swing. Set point number 1. Match point number 1. Chevy, who's back in there, Doug. Bettendorf fights it off.
Great set by Maggie Scott. Great location, perfect location by the freshman, and Bettendorf terminates.
13 kills, match point number 2 for Stanford. Bettendorf to serve. Burgess again, yes. 15 kills for Jordan Burgess and the match. 25-21, set number 3.
This is a big win for Stanford. I would not have seen this coming, to come into Oregon's house and to sweep them 3 sets to none. I mean, credit Oregon. They played so well, so tight, so good at so many different places on the floor. Impressed with their athletic ability and obviously their quick offense, which you've come to love about Oregon volleyball.
If these sets were played to 20, it would have been a much different match. Stanford very aggressive and dominant over that 20-point mark. As we take a look, the updated standings inside the Pac-12 continues to be those two unbeaten up top, Stanford and Washington.
Stanford and Washington, you talked about that November matchup. Don't know if they'll be undefeated, but Oregon's 7-5 right there. They've got all the tools.
Stanford Cardinal comes away with a sweep. Their next challenge will come from Arizona. That will, or pardon me, not Arizona. It will come from Arizona State and then Arizona on the 5th and the 7th. Is Stanford going to go all the way undefeated? Tammy Blackburn.
Going to be very difficult to do, but they have the tool to do it.
It was exciting here in Eugene. The Stanford Cardinal came up against a good Oregon Ducks team, but in the end they prevailed. Their first sweep in nearly a month's time. For my entire Pac-12 crew and my partner Tammy Blackburn, I'm Kevin Barnett saying goodbye from Eugene. Thanks for being here and enjoying some volleyball with us on a Sunday morning.
On the next Football Weekly, Mike Yan